Hi, I'm Phil Knuckey from Burncoose Nurseries. I run the landscape side of the business. This is a project we've carried on over a period of 30 years. Most of it's more new. We started a lot of this about 18 months ago, and then we ran into the G7 summit over this summer of 2021. It's very coastal, as you'll see from the pictures behind me and that. We've got right onto the beach, so we've had to utilise what's around into what plants will grow. We're fairly limited what we can grow, but I think we've achieved a lot here in the short time we've been able to do it. The cross of the front of the properties here, we've gradually built some sleepers and that into waves and that. These are all private apartments and that, and we've gradually separated them off. We've got outside showers and everything built into them. This is a very windy section of the site. It's quite shady. It's been quite challenging to get the plants to grow, but it's done very well for where it is. You're on the beach, you can have winds over 100 miles an hour, and we've had that a few times. We've actually had sea over this piece. And as we walk up the steps, as we go up through, up to the upper levels, this has been another challenge. It's a channel through the buildings. Obviously it catches the wind extremely badly, but it's done very well for where it is. It's done better than what we'd ever expected, really. This area is the front of the hotel, which is the main entrance into the conference room and that. This was constructed in the first lockdown in 2020. We planted this as it's gone along. There's been a few reproductions to this. We've had to redo this a couple of times because the swimming pool and the building on the left, the new gym and that was rebuilt. So this has been redone, I think 3 times over the time, where access has had to come through. Then we're going to walk into the swimming pool area. There we've designed with Mr. and Mrs. Baker from Carbis Bay, which has been a delight to work with. And it's gradually come on. All these areas we've had to build out a long way using rocks. What we've tried to do is to bring the coast into the hotel, and then the coast gradually comes around to me into the hotel, and what we try to integrate it all together so it just doesn't be a blot on the landscape like a lot of planning these days. We're gradually walking now up through to the new pod sites, and these were used as meeting rooms for the G7 summit. There's a very, very short timescale turnaround, I think 8 weeks, and there was nothing here, and we gradually built them up. We've done all the outside, the landscaping, the decking, everything around it, and it's been an interesting project to say the least. Some very, very long days and nights to get it out. And we finished about 4 hours before the actual Boris was coming down the road, which was quite funny to see. To think we were that tight in timescales. These were the new pods which were built for the G7 summit for meeting rooms and that. They're waiting on planning now to decide what's going to be used after them. At the moment they're going to be used for school children and that in the summer, for extra teaching rooms and that, and used for yoga classes and that. I don't think you can have a better place to actually come and do yoga or teach. If you look out across the bay of Carbis Bay right over to Carbis. This is an access area we gradually built in for the hotel. It used to be just a very, very narrow footpath. We've had to open this up so we could get access in to build these buildings. It's been quite a challenging project to level this out so it's usable now for the hotel. And the views from here are stunning. If you look out across the bay, I think we've probably picked one of the best days we could ever have to come down and do this. We're extremely lucky to be here today. It must be in the 80s already, and it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. And we've actually designed and built this over the years with Mr. and Mrs. Baker. We've worked for Stephen and his father for over 30 years, which has been a great pleasure to do. The people that let you use your mind and let you get on with it if you know what you're doing, which is a pleasure to do. This is areas of the rear of the hotel where we built some herb gardens in for the restaurants to use, and we've used a variety of stuff which has done extremely well here. The chefs are now coming out picking it. There's quite a few TV programs being done from here now. They've got their own film studio here built into the hotel to do cooking programs. We're lucky enough to have the G7 Summit here in Cornwall. It's probably the biggest event, and what is the biggest event that Cornwall's ever seen. There was over 5,000 police here patrolling this. It was amazing to be here the last few days. We had snipers and that, with lasers and that put on our back. We had the SAS coming on the beach. We had 3 or 4 cruisers and an aircraft carrier out in the bay. It was something that Cornwall will never see again, and it's put Cornwall on the map. I think, Stephen, the last few days down here we had to work extremely hard and weeks to get it on thing, but he managed to turn it out on time, which is an achievement in itself.